Alright, I'll continue with this thing here. When I read my words, I'll be using this side of my face. When I use the Muslims, I'll be using that side, plus doing a mock Arabic accent. Okay. This is a continuation of the video series called The Stealth Muslim Who Claims to Be an Atheist. And when I read a little further, you'll see why. By the way, I'm going to direct my attention to this camera and not you, because I have a feeling this video is going to be deleted. Okay. It does not change the fact that these interpretations are just that, interpretations into modern language. And interpretations are always subject to interpreter bias. A person's political views can and will be read into translations. How am I reading into things with forbidden to you are married women? You can't have forbidden sex with married women, except what your right hand possess. How am I reading into that while knowing that this part of Quran 424 is reported, handed down in Sunan Abu Dawud 22150 and Muslim 83433 on a Muslim website called Sunnah.com that seems to show the first part of Quran 424 in a more disturbing light, where a captured woman can be raped in front of her non-Muslim husband by companions of Mr. Pubba, Muhammad F. Pubba. How? Especially if translations are made using the help of hadiths. I take it you aren't a Sunni Muslim who has to believe in the Sunnah hadith? What? Are you a Shiite Muslim? Or are you now one of the rapidly growing in number Quranis, Quran-only Muslims? Which are simply unreliable. These hadiths which are simply unreliable to the mass fabrication and politics in the history of hadith. Oh, so you aren't a Sunni Muslim who has to believe in the hadith and are either a Qurani or a Shiite Muslim, true? You don't have to believe in the hadith even if they are sahih, authentic, and Sunan Abu Dawud, true? Well, if so, what is the point of Sunnah.com? What is great that you have the Arabic text there, and you can go back to the roots of each word and generate many different meanings. If so, then how can the quote clear signs handed down that explain things fully in detail? Well, how can it be quote clear signs handed that explain things fully in detail? Just like the wife beating verse, the word can be translated to so many things, like spread out, like quote spread out flat like a carpet really means shaped like an ostrich egg. If that is true, can you find a Quran written before women's rights that has a Quran saying, say a Quran saying, tap on her with a toothbrush, like Muslims trying to say beat means now? You know, can you find that Quran? Including even sexualizations rather than beating. Again. Can you find a Quran written before women's rights that has, say, a Quran saying, tap on her with a toothbrush? You know, tap on her with a toothbrush, like Muslims are trying to say Quran 424 means. That no longer means beat, it means coat. Yeah. Can you find one that was written? Can you find a Quran written before the 20th century where we find out that embryos aren't, quote, clots of congealed blood, and instead has a pre-20th century Quran saying, we, Allah, made embryos balls of dividing cells? That would be impressive, you know, if it said that. Or how about this? We, Allah, made the earth round like the moon, instead of shaped like an ostrich egg, which is actually oval shaped. You know, if you can find those Qurans written like that before the 20th century, man, you want to know something? That would be impressive. That's just the nature of this language, of course. But again, can you find a Quran written before women's rights that has, say, a Quran saying, tap on her with toothbrush, like Muslims are trying to say beat means now? Can you find a Quran written before the 20th century where we find out that embryos aren't, quote, clots of congealed blood, like one of the clots, like one of the surahs says, that surah is called the clot, and instead has a can you find a pre-20th century Quran saying, we, Allah, made embryos balls of dividing cells? As I said, that would be impressive. Or how about this? We, Allah, made the earth round like the moon instead of, shaped like an ostrich egg, which is actually oval shaped. If you can find those Qurans written before the 20th century, again, that would be impressive. Then another Muslim jumps in and says, "Are you a Christian, Prince?" "No, but this video are one of the best." Oh, shoot. Oh, I see. This is before. Okay. Then he says this. You're incredibly repetitive. I bet hearing Allahu Akbar 5 times a day isn't repetitive to you, though. True? How about there's no God but Allah? That never gets repetitive or old to you either. True? And it does not clarify your point. It does not help to clarify your point. You hope? I'm not ignoring the context of Quran 424. Okay, well, how about the first part that is reported, handed down in Sahih, in Sunan Abu Dawud 22050 and Sahih Sound Authentic Muslim 83433 Hadith. I know it possibly refers to married slaves. Possibly. What is forbidden to you are married women. You can't have sex with married women except what your right hand possess. What does the word accept mean to you? It's rather simple to me. It describes people you are forbidden to marry, which includes relatives, women who are already married. Right. You can't marry women. But then you have the word accept, where you can have forbidden sex. Yeah, with married slave women, it seems. Well, yeah, he screws up here. Right. Then you have the word accept. How come you didn't mention that word? With the exception of slave women, married women, it seems. Wow! You did include accept with, quote, exception. Man, aren't you to do taqiya and ignore such a word? Who are allowed, who you are allowed to marry. It's called intercourse in Dawud 2:2050 and Muslim 8:34-33, and in Dawud it can be done in the presence of the other husbands who are unbelievers, non-Muslims. How come you don't have a problem with that, sir? Where is the consent of her non-Muslim husband? So it's not rape. Where? I think I'll quit it here. Bye.